5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, I'm Rod Kirsch. I'm going to talk about my relationship with community. This is a slide of someone with a splinter, and it reminds me of a moment when I discovered the joy and the privilege that is associated with helping another person. And my first act as a doctor was when I removed a splinter from a 10-year-old school friend. This is my mum and my granddad, or Papa, that's what we called him, in our flat in Glasgow. There's many emotions tied up in this, and memories and thoughts of my family and their involvement with hospitals and healthcare, all of which have influenced how I approach life, and in particular my life as a doctor. I've jumped here to South Africa, to Nelson Mandela's cell in Robben Island, and to me this symbolises my feelings about how we sometimes treat people in our care, particularly how the system in which we operate makes us isolate those with infections, with MRSA, C. difficile, ESBL. Some of them are amongst the most common in the UK. The horror of Ebola felt like a shadow over Africa in the last year. I can't imagine the terror of patients faced with this disease, nor can I comprehend the trade-offs healthcare workers have had to make between their effectiveness, their values, compassion and self-preservation. In the making of a doctor, through childhood, medical school and into adulthood, many influences affect our approach to life, how we see the world, how we interpret caring and curing, how we balance costs and benefits. It took me nearly 40 years to arrive at the vision that's Mallard Ward in Doncaster Royal Infirmary. We started not far from chaos, with a varied cocktail of experiences provided to our patients with delirium and dementia. Through the establishment of our delirium unit and its identity, which, like its namesake, the Mallard, was made in Doncaster. Names and identity matter. What's more important, however, is human contact, the connection between patient and nurse, doctor and patient, carer and cared for. The bond's special. It's uniquely sustaining and enriching for all of those who are involved. On Mallard wards, before we address disease and diagnosis, we look at the people, the humanity that sits behind the disease. A cup of tea for many of my patients, served with a smile, can do more good than 1 million aspirins, beta blockers, or cholesterol-lowering drugs. In hospital, patients can find themselves caught up, adrift in the chaos of a system, one which is designed to care but which can lose sight of its purpose. In Mallard, we've ensured that our patients only move wards if it's in their, not in the organisation's best interests. I've mentioned human connection, a smile, a touch, a moment spent with another person connecting. This can lift anxieties and reassure. Engaging eye to eye with mutual respect, we can facilitate cures beyond the reaches of our most sophisticated science. Environment matters. Light, sound, colour, texture, all these factors can influence the experience of a patient when they're on the ward. By themselves, fancy decorations aren't enough. When combined with caring, passion and compassion, the results are incredible. What I've been saying may sound a little abstract to some, a little fanciful. The reality, however, is of real patients and real diseases and raw emotions, fear, pain, hope. We need to ensure this can happen humanely in an environment that's safe. We sometimes forget the importance of nutrition in our supersized society. Some of my patients are the frailest, most vulnerable individuals on the planet. Ensuring adequate intake of food and fluid is critical. Friends and relatives can be magical in their ability to support this. Safety, doing no harm, is at the heart of all that we care, of all the care in the NHS. Whether physical or emotional, harm is something that all staff, patients and relatives must realise and address. through openness and transparency, we can improve continuously. We, those involved with change, are a finite resource. It doesn't take much to drain us of our energy, of our enthusiasm, or our passion. Transformative change is not something that is synonymous with weebles who wobble but don't fall down. Whether through George's 14 billion years of evolution or radical revolution, questioning, challenging the status quo or rocking the boat can result in us feeling lonely and isolated, undervalued and ignored. This is why we must face the fundamental question: do we move towards chaos, isolation, exhaustion, loneliness, or do we look up and out? Do we look to community to find the answers to support us through the good times and the bad? I was lucky. I found community, friends and colleagues, patients and partners who share my vision, who pride people in partnership above profit and self-interest. This journey's been incredible. It's taught me community. And yet it's precarious. Our future hangs on a thread. Never before has the establishment we all love and respect, the NHS, been under greater threat from privatisation, from that which is the antithesis of co-creation and collaboration. We aren't yet at the point of despair. We can pull together and stand as one. Challenge and fragmentation that threatens our existence. Patience before profit, and people before data, and compassion counts. And the vote was no, but this is yes.